Welcome. Good to have you with us this evening. Beautiful Thursday. My name is Kim Crowther. I'll be your trainer tonight. Delighted to have you with us. I see people from all around the United States, two other countries besides the U.S. Welcome, all of you. Good to have you with us. I've got a lot to cover tonight, and I'm going to still try to stay within my timeline. So we need to jump in and get going. As I go through this training tonight, be thinking if there are topics you would like to have addressed in future trainings, just let me know, and we'll see if we can address those for you as well. So pretty excited what we have to share today. Just a quick overview. We're going to start out just talking about shopping point packs, the benefits, and how that prepares us to build our merchant business. Then we'll get into why become a Like-A-Net marketer. But then we're going to do something a little different. We're going to talk about Like-A-Net as a business in a way we've never done before. And then we're going to talk about the fast track and maybe a little different twist on that, if you will. And then to finish up tonight, I'm going to do something I hope you enjoy. I'm going to show you some highlights. And I think you'll be a little bit pleased. You might be surprised, and I hope you'll enjoy it as well. So that being the case, let's jump right in. Shopping point packs, benefits, merchant partnerships. Now, please, for those that are new to MyWorld and Like-A-Net marketing, one of the things that I love about this opportunity is it doesn't require money to be able to be successful and make money. There's no cost to become a shopper. There's no cost to become a Like-A-Net marketer. What I'm going to show you tonight are different options we have and choices we have and additional features we have and benefits that can help us grow our business or make more money or both. So please understand what I'm going to show you next. We introduced in the preview that many of you attended. We introduced it lightly and talked about that you can get additional shopping points to make money with. I'm going to show you how that works right now and the additional benefits, but just know you don't have to, but also know that you can. And that's the cool part. So here we go. Let's take an example. When we want to have more shopping points so that as our shoppers continue to shop and we receive marketing bonus override on every dollar they spend in the system, we also know that every dollar they spend is going to be able to redeem or convert our shopping points over to cash, $1 for $1. In other words, one shopping point converts to $1 cash. And so it's nice to be able to have more than maybe the amount of shopping points we would get in our normal everyday shopping, especially as we grow our business. So let me just give an example of the benefit of shopping point packs. The first one is the return. If the cost for a minimum pack is $149 for the month. But when we purchase that pack, we get a 2 times factor, meaning we immediately receive 300 shopping points. So in essence, we purchase $149. By the time those points are redeemed, we've doubled our money, which is really nice. Now, we also receive something called MSP Asia points. We're not going to get into that tonight, but understand that that is something that we will touch on and kind of explain a little better, but that is something that's really exciting. And think of it as a nice bonus or benefit to the shopping point packs. You'll see what that could mean to you down the road. In addition, we get career points, and that's what it's all about, getting paid and advancing our career. So we love that as well. Now, if we like, we can get 2 shopping point packs instead of just 1. When we get 2, obviously the cost just goes up at double, but the shopping points triple. So we would put a $298 in, but 900 shopping points coming back out. So spend $298, eventually make 900. That's a sweet return on our contribution. Now, the nice thing about that is that not only do we get the MSP, much higher number of MSP Asia points and double the career points, but we also at this point receive 1 merchant code. Now, as you will learn in our business, when we provide merchants the opportunity to come on board with us, there ordinarily is a fee of $749 that it costs for a merchant to join. You notice we always said for merchants it is free, and the reason is because we have chosen as Like-A-Net marketers to be able to cover those typically for our businesses. How do we do that without coming out of our own pocket? Well, as you can see, if we purchase 2 shopping point packs in the month, we also receive 1 merchant code, which means when we go now to register and a friend to join and as a merchant, we will simply put that code with their information, and now that fee will be waived. So think of it like this. We spent $298 to get 900 shopping points, but we also got $749 hard value cash value back immediately as we received one merchant account code. So that gets to be pretty exciting and a real incentive as to why we like these shopping point packs. Now, if we do 3, which is the maximum we can do per month, again, the cost is just 3 times, it's $447. But at that point, we have a factor of 4. We receive 1,800 shopping points. So again, 447 coming in, 1,800 coming out. What a phenomenal return on our initial contribution. I mean, it's pretty exciting. But in addition to that, we now get 1,200 MSP Asia points, and we get 225 career. But we also, are you ready? We get 3 merchant codes. So you can see why the suggestions Matt has made is that we should all be getting shopping point packs while we're starting and building our business. And one of the main reasons is to get these merchant codes. And you can see we're getting them for a very, very great opportunity way to do it. Now, there's some benefits we do as we start to grow our business. Once we have 3 people that we brought into the business, 3 active lines directly to us, well, then the exact same purchases are basically doubled. If we purchase a single pack, the cost would not change. It's $149. However, we're going to get a factor of 4 instead of 2, 600 shopping points, 400 MSP. Phenomenal. If we do 2, again, it's going to be doubled. 298 in, same as before, but 1,800 shopping points. And what's nice about it is 1,200, but of the MSP Asia, but we also get 2 merchant codes. Now, we're not spending any more money. All we're doing is just as we build our business, everything just gets better and performs better. If we purchase 3, at that point, it's the same 447 going in, but now we're receiving 3,600 shopping points. How nice to have those in your account. They don't expire. As you grow your business, as you grow your network, as people continue to shop and it grows, as you remember how we saw people going from nobody to 53,000 people in their organization, they'll be able to redeem those for you. How fun is that? But also, not only do we get the shopping points, but we get 2,400 MSP Asia, and we get, are you ready, 6 merchant codes. So do the math, $750 times 6 for a $447 one-time purchase. That is a sweet deal. So I know there's different ways to look at this, the shopping point packs and what's important to you. But as you build your business, you'll find that different parts of it become more important to you at different times. The beauty of it is we get them all every time, and they're going to be there for us. So I hope that means something to you and you enjoy it. And it's a great way to prepare to add merchants and build your ongoing residual income more quickly and more solidly. So now the next question is, why would we want to become a LikeItNet marketer? Well, that's one reason, because as a LikeItNet marketer, an example, it didn't cost us to register. We already can be a shopper. As a LikeItNet marketer, we're automatically a shopper. It didn't cost us anything for that. But once we sign up as a marketer, now we can purchase the shopping point packs, which we can't do if we're just a shopper. So there's a huge benefit right there to us. But also some of the other benefits, let's look at it like this. If you take just a moment and look into your personal life and your family's goals and what you want, and think about your goals and your dreams, if you look at them, for most people, the reason that they're not where they want to be is that maybe it's going to take more time to get there, to build to get there, or you need more money to be able to attain or do those things, or some obviously combination of both. But sometimes we need another opportunity because what we're doing simply does not have the power or ability to help us fulfill our goals or dreams. Just not possible, no matter how hard we work, what it's going to be able to generate for us. Now, one of the things that's nice about this is the secret really, and especially as you get older, is being able to put your efforts into something that doesn't pay you just once, but provides residual income. Now, the definition of residual income is money that continues to flow after initial investment of time and resources have been completed. And that's the idea here. We can either spend our time working in jobs, we get paid once and that's it, and hopefully we've saved, or we can go ahead and work in something that we get paid when we do the work, but it sets up ongoing pay from then on. And that's what really provides security, stability, and a future. So let's just compare normal typical jobs and work to what we do as a like a net marketer very briefly today. Excuse me, I apologize. For most people, a common or typical job, we're paid by the hour or by the pay period. And of course, once we do the work, we get paid. Now, when we get paid, they typically already take taxes out of our check so that money is already in. And then at the end of the year, we hope we're maybe going to get some of that back if we're lucky and not have to pay any more in. But that money is now taken out of our check and it's gone to the government, if you will. Now, in addition to that, we don't have any write-offs basically associated with our business typically. It's just income, which could be wonderful. But now, one of the things that happens when we work for someone else is we pretty much don't have any control over how much we're paid, how many hours we work. If we do have a job, what our future is, the stability of the company. We don't have any control over incentives. They can change the plan anytime that they want. And so, a lot of it's on faith. And a lot of times the company doesn't want to do what they have to do to stay in business, which can be very nerve-wracking as we're building our future and our career. And we're sometimes worried because we know the older we get, if we lose this job, it's going to be harder to find something at the same pay level and get back to where we need to be. Well, but this is typical for most of us. We go to work somewhere and we work hard and do a good job and we get paid, and then we just get up and do it again day after day and week after week and month after month. Now, a thought about that is if we, for some reason, cannot work, we typically lose our income. And that can be devastating, especially when we've got children at home and families that we're growing and education and all those kinds of things going on. And so that can be absolutely devastating. When we go to retire, it all depends on typically how much we've saved. And if we put into a 401k and was it effective and did it work for us and how long will it last? Sometimes there can be frustration while we're working there. It may not be a job that we really enjoy or love, but we're afraid to leave because we don't know how to do something better, or we doing something that we know what to do. And in addition to that, though, is what if we really enjoy the job we have and we love going to work, but too often it can't take us where we need to go. It can't really help us to get the long-term goals and dreams that we want. So there's our frustration. We love what we do. We enjoy it. We don't want to do something else, but we're caught in a cross there because we know what we're doing does not have the ability to attain your goals. So now let's take a look at like a net marketing, something we can do part-time, start small. We can jump in full-time. We can attack it whatever is right for us. Let's compare. As a like a net marketer, we would be what they call self-employed. We own our own business. Our business is a marketer for like a net. Now, that gives us the opportunity to work when we want, how we want, and where we want, and obviously, as I said, when we want. Now, we can start part-time, full-time. A lot of people choose to start part-time, and then as it grows and replaces their full-time income, they can quit what they're doing and spend more time here and maybe enjoy their life and have a lot more time and freedom. But that's the beauty of being able to start as best for you. Now, same as anything else, we do work. At the end of the pay period, we get paid. But there's a difference there. When we get paid all the money that we've earned. There's no taxes withheld because we have now the opportunity to pay our own taxes. And if that sounds scary, don't let it be. It's quite simple. And there's companies that will help you do that for inexpensive every month, do all the work for you. You just have to let them know. But what's nice about it is all the write-offs we get when we own our own business. I don't have time to get into those tonight, but the home office deduction is huge. Health insurance, mileage deduction for our meetings, office supplies, phone and internet costs, business travel and meals, startup costs, advertising. And it's amazing how much money that we would be spending. We can now start to have the tax deduction and write it off and enjoy more of the money that we're working for in the kinds of things we would really like to do or need to do. So it becomes quite a bit of fun to do. In addition to that, we have control of our business. No one can tell us how much we have to work, or they can't decide how much we make per hour. In fact, we're in charge of how much we make. The more effective we are, the more money we make per hour. The more hours we work, typically we can make more money. But what's nice is that we're also setting up residual income. So there's a double pay. We get paid more, hopefully, when we're doing it. But then we're going to typically make more for the rest of our life because we did that. You can't lose your job. They can't fire you unless you're just morally unethical. And of course, you're not really worried about the company closing after 20 years in business, going through some of the hardest times and being successful and the largest in the world and the number one ranked in the United States. So if we get sick or hurt, yeah, we can't work, depending on what kind it is. We wouldn't be able to work with our other job. But as you see at the end, this can provide residual income for us, even as we're building our business. Because even if we stop working, it's not going to stop our shoppers from shopping. They don't think about every time they go to the store and buy some clothes, oh yeah, I'm really glad I do this so that so-and-so can make some money off of me. they're just getting cash back and enjoying it and shopping points. Very happy with that program. So it has an opportunity to protect us and to grow, and we can be in control of our future. So now it's a little bit different. It's ongoing, not a one-time thing. And of course, the key is the residual income, which can help us with lifestyle, freedom, choices, fun, things like that. So to me, there's so many benefits of being able to be self-employed. Check with your CPAs, but most people find that you can work for someone else and still work with like Net Marketing. Start your own business, start it on the side, and still have the tax benefits and the write-offs, which can be huge. So check that all out, look into it, see the benefits that are there. But most of all is the opportunity to have something that can help us meet our dreams realistically and while we're young enough to be able to enjoy our goals and dreams. So now I want to jump in and I want to treat and compare It as a business for us. We were just talking part-time, kind of easing in there. We certainly can do that. It doesn't change what I'm showing here, but I want to emphasize as a business. So let's take an example. I did some research on this. A typical startup for a new business today, most businesses, they tell us today, take 2 to 3 years to become profitable. Now that means unless you've got money set aside to pay yourself and to live on, you're going to go to 2 to 3 years without any income, and you're going to have a lot of expenses and outgo. Think about how many people really have an opportunity to start their own business. The franchise fee cost is between $20,000 and $50,000, and according to the SBA, with a minimum of 6 months operating capital is needed on top. So again, and by the way, that's just for the franchise fee. You have the operating capital, but you also have the cost of your buildings, equipment, supplies, labor, everything associated with it, which is typically much more than the actual franchise fee cost itself. A friend of mine just shared with me the other day that they have a family member who just purchased a franchise business, and they've already spent over $400,000 just setting their business up. So obviously that makes it not open to a lot of people to be able to start their own business realistically. Now, we also talk about this each week. If you're new to our meeting tonight, please understand one of the things I learned early on is about 80% of new startup businesses statistically fail in the first 5 years. So not only people spend money and time and effort, but majority of the businesses that are new don't make it. But on the other hand, those businesses that start up brand new, but either do it through a proven franchise or through what we call a franchise format, meaning a system that has been tried and proven. And if we follow it, it should give us the same results. We're finding that 75% of the businesses are successful over time instead of 80% aren't. Now that's called putting the odds in your favor. It says something for paying for proofs in the pudding. So that brings us to where I want to compare an actual quote franchise format that is available to us if we would like with Net and compare. Now we're going to call this the fast track. It's a 30-day action plan for career level 2 and beyond. If this is your first time, I hope you'll be amazed. If you've seen this before, I've got a few things different here I hope you'll enjoy. Now, how does a 30-day action plan work for the fast track? Well, first of all, it will require money out of our pocket up front because we're starting, in essence, our own business. So our upfront out-of-pocket commitment, especially the first month, is $447 to start a business that compete with everything I can compete with everything I just shared with you about the costs and startup of a typical business today. Now, as I do this, why are we expending the $447? Because we're simply going to purchase the 3-pack shopping points. Now, as you remember, that would be $447. So the minute we do that, we get $1,800 worth of shopping points. So it's not like we just put that money and it's gone. We have the opportunity to recoup that money multiple times over. That from a startup cost. Now, please understand, this fast track is not required, not necessary to be successful with Net Marketing in MyWorld. It is a concept and a way that allows us to be able to be in charge of our destiny and to get where we need to go much more quickly, much more surely than any other way. But it is not necessary, and you can totally succeed without doing this. But if this is of interest to you, to me, this is worth your time in gold to learn this. So our commitment would be that we're going to make sure that $447 is covered each month in the foreseeable future that we're willing to pay to get our business started. Now, what do we get? We get the shopping points, MSP Asia, we get the career points, and of course, we get the merchant codes, which again, 749 times 6 or 3, depending on who you are. The value is huge for your 447. Now, our next thing we do is simply duplicate ourselves. We simply find 3 people that say, yes, I would like to start my own business. The cost is unbelievably good. I love the concept. I'm happy to do that. So what do they agree to do? To purchase 3 shopping point packs each month to start up their business for the near future. That would be a $447 commitment that they're going to make. Now, what happens is once we have our 3 people that are now in the program duplicating, doing what we're doing, we have now reached a total of 12 shopping point packs that are being purchased each month in our program. Well, that is enough shopping points total to put us above level number 1 career requirements. So if that's all we did, let's say we did that in 2 weeks, well, already we're only halfway through the month and we've already qualified as a career level 1. We would receive that income at the end of the month if that's all we did. So think about it. If that's all we did in the first month, then that would bring us $176. So next month, we've committed to making sure we buy 3 shopping point packs each month. So we would owe another $447 or contribute. But since we already have $176 we've made, now our upfront commitment is down to $271 for the second month. How fun is that? But watch. People can do this. Sometimes it could take them a couple of weeks, take them a month, take them longer. It's totally up to you. The plan suggests we get this done within 2 to 4 weeks. Now, an example here, if we went ahead and got those 3 people in the first couple of weeks, and they each got their people in the next 2 weeks, well, then that means they would have their 3 duplicating themselves. But watch what happens. Even while they're building and getting their 3 each, like we have, by the time each one of those has brought on 1 person and one of them has brought on 1 more, in other words, the 4th person, that provides enough shopping point packs and total points to move us to career level 2. So if we accomplish that in the first month, we end up in 30 days now at career level 2. So what does that mean? We didn't spend any more money, not necessarily any more time. We were more effective, and now we're at career level 2. Well, that means at the end of the month, we would receive $488 as our earnings for working our business. We've committed to continue to contribute $447 for the shopping point packs. That means in our second month, we are profitable. What if it takes 2 or 3 months to be profitable? As you saw, most startup businesses take 2 to 3 years to be profitable. We're profitable in days, weeks, or months at the most, and the commitment cost-wise is the detriment. Excuse me, but I think it is. I think some people can't believe that only 447 can produce the results that it does. Therefore, they don't put enough faith into it. They don't put enough belief into it. And the only person that hurts is us to think that. Please don't let the number be the issue. Look at the results. Look at the work. Look what's being done. Look who's making money. Look where the money's going. Look who's happy. Look who's involved. And it totally makes sense. Why do you think Matt continually shows us the circle? Because when you understand that, everything makes sense. So the idea here is, for sure, in the end of our first month or second month, we are no longer coming out of our pocket anymore to start up our business. We are actually profitable. And what's cool about this is, and in the next couple of weeks, as they continue to finish getting each one of them get their 3 people, well, we can help them because we already have ours. And as they get theirs, once they have their 3 too, they enjoy the same benefits we do, and it advances all of our career levels. So if that's all we committed to do, I hope you can see that that is enough to make us profitable in the business and up and running. Growing, we're getting shopping points every month. We're getting MSP Asia points every month. We're getting career points every month, and we're getting merchant codes every month so that now we can concentrate on bringing in our merchants, and we have the ability to sign them up for free. And of course, we get the override on them and all the business they bring into our organization. What's the secret? Just find 3 people that think like you, 3 people that can see the wisdom of this and help them get started. Now, once we do that, of course, we've got our 3 set. As they're getting theirs, you and I can help them. And that's always exciting. People always love to have help, answers to questions, verbiage, thoughts, those kinds of things. Now, if I could, how, Kim, do I find people that are willing to put up $447 a month and make that commitment and go find 3 people to do it? Well, isn't that the age-old question, been around as long as marketing has been on this planet? How do I find people? And somehow, day after day, year after year, people become extremely successful with these plans. But let me just give you a real simple answer to that. How do we find these people? We simply look for people who want to start up their own business with very little cost and a huge upside. People are willing to put in 3 to 4 hours every day for their goals and dreams. Now, if they don't fit that category, then they're probably not going to be a fast track potential. But they could be a great shopper. And we love people that are just shoppers. We need them, we want them, we enjoy them for the rest of their life, our life. That's wonderful. And they could also possibly be a great marketer, just not wanting to do the fast track to start their business. So that doesn't mean they're not interested. It just may mean that they're not a good candidate for the fast track. No time wasted, nothing lost, everything can still be gained. And it helps us fill out our organization. So if they're just not right for the fast track, I guess that's what it comes down to. Here is the secret. Are you ready to doing this? It's simply a numbers game. Talk to enough people, they're going to, what's the old adage that I got a kick out of one day? They interviewed the fellow and he said he just walks around town, around the beach and asks girls if he can kiss them. Most of them tell him no, some of them slap him, and a lot of them say yes. You know, what's the positive versus the negative here? It's a concept here which is much more scientific and sophisticated and smart than that. But here's the idea. It is simply a numbers game. If someone is not interested, simply move on. Don't spend time trying to convince them. If they don't get it, they don't see it. Don't try to convince a person against their will. They'll end up of the same opinion still. But they may be a wonderful candidate as a shopper. And they may be, and start them out as a shopper, and they may be able to become a marketer, or they may really be interested in being a marketer. So don't put their back against the wall either. Opportunity, teach, show, educate, let them decide. Now remember, we only need 3 people to begin, especially to do the fast track. We don't have to do this forever. It's not like you're saying, oh, I got to go find all these people. What do you mean all these people? 3. After that, we're helping others to get their 3. How many they need? 3. And yes, we're going to now build and do more, and we're going to have more people in our organization, but they don't necessarily have to come in through the fast track, or they can come in through the fast track. It'll be faster for them and better for them. But you are still open to every part of the business. You didn't give up anything. You only added more into our opportunity. It is a fast track to success, providing relief, excitement, peace, removal of fear, and helping whatever your dream may be to get there much more quickly and more realistically. And think with me, imagine this. Once you've got that part done, you can just relax and know that from now on, you have no overhead, no cost in this business. You're now having income come in every month. And how easy is it now going to continue to grow to get you where you want to be, especially when your mind is free and enjoying the income that you're already making. Well, that being the case, now let's look at what Lycanet can do for us. I've shared this story with you numerous times in our workshop. And if you're new to this workshop, I hope this will be impactful and helpful to you. If you're not, you've been with us before, to me, it's always inspiring. So hope you'll enjoy as well. But here's an example of all the things I think we just talked about just now. And for those who don't know, Steve Sunich is a marketer with Lycanet, and he is a personal friend of mine, and he has given me permission to share this information with you, and I hope it's inspiring to you. This is Steve's words. He said, I was introduced to MyWorld at the end of 2018, and I followed this basic program. In other words, a system that he could look, find, implement, continue. He said, I grew to career level 5 before I found out I had cancer. So not only does he find out he's got not just cancer, but the kind where he shouldn't be with us today. And then while he's going through that, COVID hits. So he says, I stopped everything and focused 100% of my attention on my health. Thanks to MyWorld, many of my team kept shopping and saving money, and my team kept slowly growing, even through COVID, even without his leadership. And those who know Steve, he's a good leader, but he wasn't there to be the spark plug. The business works. The concept works. Well, he goes on to say, in June of 2023, I was contacted by MyWorld leadership and was told they were going to relaunch MyWorld in the US in July, that they were going to name Matt Firk as the MyWorld US CEO. The next two slides show what I earned in June of 2023 and the value of my shares. So after coming off of what he has been through and now starting to get back in and build his business thanks to his wonderful, continued health recovery, let me share with you the reward, the blessing, the comfort, the benefit of having initially spent his time into Like It Marketing and MyWorld and put his efforts there. Because without, quote, making it happen, he received an income, a check for $8,140 from Like It that his team continued to produce. I call that residual income. Now, I know for some of you, $8,000 isn't enough in a month. I know for some of you, that would be absolutely heaven. Can't even imagine that much coming in every month. You can keep your other jobs if you need in the meantime, jump into this full-time, get excited, enjoy, have fun, retire. It's just unbelievable at career level 5. But that's not all. About that time, many of you remember, and if you attended the preview meeting, the initial business info meeting, you remember we talked about the MSP Asia there. Now, quick history, so this will make sense. Prior to now, when people bought the Shopping Point packs, they were given what's called MSP International shares. Now, MSP International designated a geographic area in the world that MyWorld had set aside to become shares in that geographic area, and it was called MyWorld International. So as all of those working the business were now doing their business and they were getting these MSP International shares, a few weeks ago, the company converted to shares. So that is why you and I now are all getting what's called MSP Asia points when we go ahead and get Shopping Point packs. Because the next section of the world designated to go into shares in the future is an area that is called Asia, and that geographically, of course, is significant. So now you and I and those who already have the shares for MyWorld International are now all benefiting with MSP Asia for the new section that will be going into shares. Now, what's nice about that is that Steve and his people are still continuing to do what they've always done. They're continuing to get the MSP points for the future, but they've already seen the fruits of their labor because they were able to watch their points convert to shares. Now, to just give you an example, when we get these shares, some of these shares we can sell immediately. Some we can't. We get to keep them always, but you wouldn't want to share them or sell them because these shares provide us ongoing revenue and dividends. How fun is that? So to give an example, Steve, through that time when he was building his Like It business, getting to the career level 5, etc., when it converted, what he had purchased converted to 91 shares. The value of the shares right after they came out was $590 per share. That means all of a sudden he's receiving value, about 59,000 US. This is euro here, $53,690. Now, first of all, before we go on return on money, let's talk about what that did for a person who's just gone through what this person has done. A person who has not had the means and ability to take care of his family or make the money that he used to have, would like to, or want to. Now, as he's getting to get back in the game, he gets this huge benefit of additional value. money, opportunity, money he can sell if he needs to get cash, money he can just keep and enjoy for a beautiful future with ongoing residual income. Unbelievable. And that's just an additional bonus or benefit of purchasing shopping point packs, which you and I can look at like, gosh, just get me those merchant codes so I can sign up merchants for free and enjoy making money forever. And it didn't cost me to sign them up because I got that bonus from my shopping point pack. So this is why when you meet with Matt and he says, I would strongly encourage you to at least sign up for a 2-pack per month. If minimum, if you can't do a 3, and if you can do a 3, now you understand everything is designed to accentuate our success, to help us to become more successful, do it financially better, and of course, to make a lot more money in the end. And of course, the way he has us approach is systematic so that we can build step by step to accomplish in ways that make sense. Well, I hope this little example here is meaningful to you and helpful to you and gives you encouragement as you start to build your Like a Net business, because I'm going to tell you, you will get discouraged. There'll be times when you'll have questions. There'll be times when you wonder, but what job have you ever had in your life that there were times you didn't get discouraged? There were times you were frustrated. There were times you had questions. Everything we do comes with those things in life. What was the upside for the other things that had those questions versus what is the upside with Like a Net marketing in MyWorld? Choose where you want to spend your time, your energy, and your effort. And directly because of that, you will choose the reward and the return, which boils down to your future lifestyle. I hope that's helpful to you. I want to go to this last segment here. I hope you'll enjoy this. I found it kind of fascinating. A couple of months ago, Like a Net World, MyWorld, had a major convention, a world convention seminar, if you will. I believe it was in Germany, if I'm right. But I was able to obtain some photos from that 2-day meeting, and I wanted to kind of give you an idea. Now, give you an idea, for me, I had to be online at 3 a.m. for those 2 days because of the time zone changes. So it was exciting to set your alarm for 2:30 to get up and watch, and then work the entire day after. But boy, was it worth it. I just want to give you a feel here. It's kind of hard to tell, but there's like over 60,000 people there. It is absolutely huge. Look at the stage. Look at what it takes just to manage all the things with speakers, et cetera. I mean, come on, I'm an old presenter. I've been on these stages. I'm telling you, this is an amazing production. This is a big deal. Well, it was phenomenal. They had phenomenal presenters. They had some entertainment. It was a lot of fun. I had good trainers, had motivational people. And of course, the owner himself spoke multiple times, which was always a highlight. But I want to kind of just show you, if I could, in this last couple of slides, the part that I think pertains to our meeting tonight. At the end of the second day, they decided to recognize the people in attendance who have just attained new levels in their career path. And you can see they had the people who had just become career level 5, which are called ambassadors, come up on the stage, and they all received recognition, which is pretty cool. And live, if you would have seen that, these people are just, they're hopping up and down. They're so excited they can't stand it to even be on that stage, and that they've actually made it and gotten to be there. And that is a career level 5. And then they started showing some people who had just that month become career level 6. Now, I want to point something out to you first. As we talk about each week in our business info training on Tuesday and Saturday, and you all have access to it on demand, we talk about how we get paid, and that we get paid through career levels, through career points. And if you remember, one time Matt was talking with us, and he said, by the way, understand typically the amount of money they show that you earn will usually be more than that by the time you add in things like the shopping points, the purchases, and he named a number of things that happen, that this is just basically showing your base income. So let's go. We can see at level 6, it says that typically is what, $12,000 a month. So here's a photo I was able to obtain of 3 people who were recognized for attaining level 6, which is called a senior ambassador. As you can see, you convert that to US, that's 16,000 for the month. That's a lot more than 12. This one is 22, almost double, and this one is more than double, all for the same level, same work, but the organization and the people therein. I hope that's inspiring to you to realize that probably these numbers are very conservative, or at least we can probably feel better about that's realistic for us today. The next one is career level 7, which is called a vice president. I was able to obtain a couple of photos to give you an idea of that. And you can see at a 7, it says monthly earnings from 30,000. Here we're seeing $49,000 and $51,000. Now that's just for the month. Imagine having these kinds of paychecks for the opportunity from now on. Now I'm going to explain something here. If we choose to build through the fast track, then the principal residual income is going to be more consistent typically than if we choose to do the other way, at least at first, because we're setting everything up to grow quickly and then automatically let it do what the magic of MyWorld does. So now let's take a look, and there were actually people there who would now attained career level 8, and I was able to get a photo of a few of them. Now, as you recall, we talk about at career level 8, we're looking at 75,000 from 75,000. So let's take a look and see $92,800, $106,000, $110,000. How many people would love to just make $110,000 for the year, not just 1 month? Are you willing to maybe do a little more and things a little differently for your comfort zone if the reward is worth it? If you're just looking for the kind of reward that a normal job provides, and that's all you need, then I can see why this may not be exciting for you. And don't push it, don't force it. Please enjoy building your business as a marketer. Do it over time with shoppers. Have fun, get your residual, enjoy life. There's nothing wrong with that. It's wonderful. But if you're in a situation where you realize you'd like to do more or need to do more, then realize the opportunity here really is just a matter of, I think, mental state to decide what we wish to do. Now, I'll cover in another workshop things like how to prepare and what to say, and so that we can just top these things off our mouth. I mean, those that know my person who helped me with Steve Sunich, it just flows off his tongue. I mean, he meets somebody and it just blah, comes right out. And you're over there going, oh my gosh, that silver-tongued devil. But I realized very quickly that even though it's the most fantastic in the world, it's the same information over and over again. You can read it yourself, you can learn it yourself, and you can sound the same way. May not, quite as smooth as Steve, but no one would ever know. So this is all shared. This is part of the program. All this information is available to all of us at any time, and happy to help you. Oh, by the way, I need to go back real quick. Not only did they get the $100,000, et cetera, for the month, but also they got a brand new car, each of them, as their one-time bonus. And what's interesting is it's not just a car. These are nice cars. I got to tell you, the place erupted. It was just so fun to see. Anyway, I have one last one here, and then I'll turn the time over to Matt if he has time to spend with us tonight. But I want to cover this last one. We did have the opportunity at that seminar where they did have one person who had reached career level 8.1. And that's always talked about, like, there's people doing that. It was really fun to meet a person who is actually at level 8.1. And so to give you an idea, her check for the month, are you ready, was $273,000. Do that monthly, that's over 3-something million a year. That's not too bad. And, you hear about these things and it's always like, you could do this. But remember, I talk about how important it is to have an opportunity that does not cap you, does not hold you back. And so I just want you to know, if you have big time goals and dreams, and maybe liking it is big time, and you have other options that have the ability to generate that kind of revenue realistically for you in your other places that you're working, putting your time and effort into, and the ongoing opportunity it brings. Plus, she got a car. It was a pretty nice car. She was pretty excited about that. So I want to kind of put this all together, if I could, in closing. We talked about the cost to start a new business, and the average business today is 20 to 50 grand just to buy the franchise rights. Then, of course, that could be up to hundreds of thousands, the cost for the business, the building, the supplies, all those kinds of things. What is the cost to start with this plan? $447. I try to be very conservative and say, okay, let's say it takes you longer to get started, so you're having to supplement that each month for a few months. Let's say a maximum realistically is a couple of $1,000s as your total startup costs. All of a sudden, that becomes a possibility to a lot of families. That is not a possibility to do this today. Second one, the time it takes for a new startup business to become profitable, typically today, 2 to 3 years. Liken it 2 weeks, 1 month, dividing it down 2 to 4 months to be profitable. Now, I realize you're saying, well, Kim, yeah, but that's only $40, $100. Yeah, but you're profitable. But remember with this program how fast it grows. And that's the key. You just have to plant the seed and then sprouts. But until you plant the seed, it's never going to grow. Well, and then, of course, by simply following the fast track, if you simply get 3 in your first 2 weeks, they get 3 in their next 2 weeks, and that just continues on. You do that perfectly, and you'll be at level 8 in 6 months. Where can you do that realistically today? Now, for those of you that are over there overwhelmed, or you're poo-pooing it, or you're saying, yeah, I've heard these things before, it's okay. Love you. There's times I get pessimistic about things in life too. But you also know how excited I am because of this company and what I've seen through the years. But if you'd like, divide it down to your own level of comfort. What if you're only half as good as getting this done on time, half successful? Oh, only made $50,000 that month. What if it took you a year instead of 6 months? I mean, you see where I'm going with this? What if it takes longer? What else you got going that's got this kind of opportunity and privilege and potential? It's unbelievable what comes there. Or you could turn it around and you could say, multiply it up to your own level of excitement and commitment of where you want to be, what you want to do, and how fast you want to do it, and what help you need to get there, and how you're going to line that up, and be thinking those thoughts instead of something else. Well, if I could, in my final thoughts here, please remember this. At one time, the young lady that you and I talked about, who is now an 8.1, she was here. Now she's here. What's the difference between the two? She made a decision to go for it. She made a decision to do it. To me, if you understand it, it makes sense. Break every part of it down and see if there's any weakness. You'll be surprised you can't find it. It makes sense. But boy, is it exciting. Well, I hope this has been helpful tonight. Just remember, please, to make sure you have this information. You can always invite people that you're talking with to come to our business information meetings every Tuesday and Saturday. They start at 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern, where I give that short 30-minute meeting that talks about the whole business and what it is and the power and the benefit and how excited we are and how much we love it. Phenomenal way. For those of this, your first workshop, take advantage of that. Use it to help people to become exposed and familiar with and see the benefit and the beauty of the program.